Not only you are going to become aware of this opportunity, which is literally going to bring unlimited possibilities into your life, my gorgeous Leonie. Not only that, but at the same time, it is absolutely perfect time for you to do so. You may not realize this, so that's why I'm here to open your eyes and to make you aware of the fact that you are about to do something so big. You're standing in front of one of the greatest unfoldment of your life. So this is what you need to understand. Not only you are going to be facing this opportunity, which is going to make you feel instantly excited, okay, but at the same time you are indeed going to have absolutely perfect balance when it comes to your practicality and when it comes to your spirituality. And even if you feel completely tired, even if you feel completely drained, and even if you have the worst hangover of your life, that even then it doesn't matter. All you need to do is just like kind of tap into it. All you need to do is just dive into it. All you need to do is just like kind of make the necessary step, at least with your mind. You need to explore this further. You need to put this as a priority number one. This reading is indeed in between the 13th and the 19th of March 2023. So this is the time where you really kind of need to sort out priorities in your life a little bit, because you're going to realize that something is at the same time going to come to an end. Something at the same time came to an end a while ago, as some kind of project that you've been working on, or something that you've been working on, you will kind of decide to walk away from it. The only reason why you're going to do this obviously is because something much better is coming. This in itself, it's not going to seem so obvious almost immediately, but you will see within the next 2 or 3 days, you will know exactly what has come to an end in your life and what do you need to move on from. And of course that this is to do with the good old Eight of Cups, indeed, which is slowly but surely going to lead to the actual magician, to your magician moment. And that means that you are really going to have everything you possibly need in order to make this particular some very huge massive goal a reality. You will know that you're going to be able to manifest one of the biggest things in your life. So this is all going to be entirely up to you. This is going to be such an important moment in time. This is going to mean to you so much, and at the same time it's going to provide you with an absolutely mind-blowing idea on a problem, you know, that was draining your energy for the last year. Okay, so now that problem is just going to seem to be so unimportant, and up until this moment this was absolutely draining every single energy that you have. Something that you've been through actually within the last 2 or 3 years, you've been through something very difficult, but this was pretty much so highlighted quite a lot within the last year. So now this is also going to be such an important moment for you to move away from, and now move away from this, you know, and it's going to help you to think positively. And once you think positive, you know, it's just there is nothing that can stop you after this moment in time, my gorgeous Leonie. You are indeed going to find this very, very rewarding, because it's almost instantly going to make you feel so creative. In fact, you're going to feel the creativity you haven't felt in absolute ages, and that in itself, it's really kind of going to reflect on your willpower. It's going to reflect on your confidence in the best possible way. The more creative you are around these things here, the more confident you're actually going to be. And even more so, there is going to be such a specific and unique sign that you are going to have. Listen to me very carefully. At around the same time, you are going to have this absolutely superb sign. Very unique, but it's going to be absolutely obvious, like the biggest mama standing right in front of you. You could not notice her, could you? You see what I mean? Okay, so this is going to be like a massive mama standing right standing right in front of you. So this is going to be amazing. The sign that you are going to have at around this time, it's going to be crystal clear, absolutely crystal clear. And before you see that sign, you also going to have a little warning, like for example the numbers 777, 222 and 444. If you do see these numbers beforehand, you will know, oh my god, my sign is going to come up, my sign is going to come up. But most importantly, if you do see these numbers beforehand, this is also an additional sign for you to pay attention to what is on your mind. There is a blockage that you need to release. The blockage is so heavy and it's so strong that if you don't release this negativity, you're thinking about something in a negative way, and this is keeping the door locked right in front of you. So some of you are going to have that, like still some kind of a blockage holding you down, which is all entirely down to you, up to you. So this, if you do see the numbers before you see these signs, you will know that there is an additional blockage that you have in your mind that you need to release with a positive thinking. You need to change your mind about something very negative. You need to release this huge amount of negative energy, because this in itself is holding you down. So if you see these numbers before that sign, you will know that something is still holding you down. But if you don't see that numbers before that sign, then you're absolutely fine. There is nothing holding you down, which is okay. You're still going to see this sign. This sign that I'm talking about is going to be absolutely clear, like the clearest water. Like clear, baby, clear, clear, clear. It's going to be crystal clear when it comes to you understanding that you are doing the right thing. You are on the right path. 100%, not 100%, but 1,000,000%, you are on the right path. This in itself is going to be like kind of like such a clear direction that is going to be provided to you. So of course that this is going to be so important. And also there is some kind of declaration that you're going to need to make. There is a specific person in your life, my gorgeous Leonie, that you have to be really honest with. Somebody in your life at around the beginning of this week, you know, they need you to be a little bit rough with them. Not rough, but they need you. There is someone in your life, the specific person who is doing something to themselves that they shouldn't. So whether this is like maybe drinking too much, maybe taking some kind of substances that they shouldn't, you know what this is. You will know what this is. There is something not right with that person. And you have got a very big influence and impact on that person, but you're just so worried about saying this to that person to not to offend this person, not to upset this person, because this is someone who's getting so easily offended and upset as well. And once they're upset and offended, it's like a firework, like a rockets everywhere. So you're like, no baby, no, you're chilled out, you don't want that. But then, you know, your honesty is needed. You almost need to kind of sit down with someone and tell them exactly, you know, what they're up to, what they're doing, it's not good. And if they carry on doing this, it is just going to be like a cliff. It's like the actual cliff is over here, yeah? So the more they do this, the more they're walking towards the bloody cliff over there. So this is why you need to explain this to that person. Don't worry about rockets. Don't worry about fireworks, because love wins everything. Love always wins. Love is probably the most powerful energy, you know, that we can possibly make, that we can possibly create, you see. So even if you are completely like really honest with that person is not going to like this. But then again, it's coming from the place of love. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from your spirit. It's coming from your soul. So regardless how this person is going to react, it's going to end up pretty good, because you are going to be able to explain to this person, and this person is going to be offended to start with, and then at the same time, you know, you are going to do something remarkable. And you can tell me, I don't care about other people. Why are you talking to me about other people? No baby, no. No baby, no. This is someone who is like really prominent in your life. And when we do such an amazing thing, we like do something so powerful, like we almost save somebody's life. You know what an amazing thing you do. to yourself on your spiritual journey, it's like, oh my God, you elevate yourself so much. You elevate yourself, and at that moment in time, you become so powerful. You become so untouchable. Like, there is so much that people get scared of in this world, and by fear, people sadly get manipulated like so easily. And you don't get to that point. You will not get to that point because you just rise above so much within your consciousness and subconsciousness. You elevate yourself, and it's like, oh my God, you just get to the point when you're grateful to yourself. You're grateful to God. You're grateful to yourself. You're grateful, for understanding what you understand, and for having this level of understanding. So this is all about you basically not only doing the great thing, but also at the same time you doing something absolutely magnificent when it comes to you and when it comes to your life as well. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Leone, it's like basically you are really going to, you know what? You need to understand this. Sorry. In between what I find is pleasing and I'm feeling fine. I'm sorry, my gorgeous Leone, 8 around the midweek. You are going to, oh my God, now you were worrying about some kind of impulsive mistake that you've made. You were worried about some kind of impulsive mistake that you've made. And this is going to bounce back. Oh God, that was an impulsive mistake that I've made, and I'm so sorry about it. Why did I do this? So I don't even want to think about it, blah, blah, blah. And now suddenly, you are going to find a benefit, like a very much so, lots of benefit in this impulsive mistake that you think that you've made. Some kind of impulsive mistake that you've made in the past, not that long ago. This was like, oh God, you were just like fighting yourself with that. But then now you're going to realize that this was actually really beneficial for you and for your situation, because that particular, what you think, that impulsive mistake that you made, now you're going to realize, oh my God, there is something very specific that you learned out of it. There is a knowledge that came out of it. And that's like absolutely the best possible thing that could happen in this life, on this spiritual journey, because we live and we learn. The mistake is no mistake no longer. The actual mistake is no mistake. The mistake is not mistake no longer. A mistake is not a mistake no longer. Yay! Hallelujah! When you actually get something out of it, when you actually gain something out of it, when you actually learn something out of it, so that is not a mistake anymore, but it's a really interesting learning experience, baby, that you're going to become aware of. So now that you're going to find this extremely beneficial, because you are going to be able to speed up, something. You're going to be able to speed up this situation in your life, something in your life that made you so miserable, that made you feel so concerned, that made you feel so unhappy. You will be able to speed this up. You will know exactly what to do, because that in itself is going to provide you with a really, really wise choice. You will understand crystal clear here that you really need to kind of, you need to, by doing this, you're also nurturing your soul, you're nurturing your spirit, because you're making a really, really wise choice indeed. And on what else I was going to say, my gorgeous Leone, that, there is this man, at around the midweek, there is this man, this really interesting, unusual man who is very kind of smart, very clever, very business orientated, but that person is at the same time rather spiritual as well. There is something so beautiful about this person and so interesting about this person. This person is beautiful both inside and out, and you know this, but it's like more about the actual spirituality that comes out of this person. I'm talking about someone who is an extremely old spirit, like an extremely old spirit. An extremely old spirit, they tend to be 5 years old in this world, and they tend to talk about things that 20-year-old people are talking about, and they find little hobbies and little things that are so grown up. You know that these beings are like from somewhere completely different. They're able to remember things that lots of other people can't remember from their past lives, for example. So that all comes through the things that these people say, and the way they do things, the way they express themselves is different, it's powerful, it's unique, it's interesting, you know, but it's very, very interesting indeed, you know. So this type of people, you can just look at them and you're going to find them interesting, you know, let alone what they come up with. But through that particular person, so this is somebody who is like either maybe who you look up to, who you listen to, or maybe this is somebody in your life, you know. But this particular male person, it's really going to play an important role when it comes to you understanding somehow that, you know, that you need to be patient, you know, and you're gonna understand that the worst is over, okay. And this is important when it comes to you understanding that the worst is over, my gorgeous Leone, because this is in itself going to reflect on, see this, look, you will understand through this person that the worst is over. And this is, my gorgeous Leone, going to reflect on your determination. This is immediately, look at this, this is immediately going to bring such a powerful determination into your life, you know. This is where your determination is going to rise here. And especially when it comes to the actual determination, you are going to think about initiative, and at the same time, you know, this in itself, look at this, King of Swords, look at this. At the same time, you need to understand that this, you are really going to have a very, very powerful idea here as well. Very, very powerful idea. It's not only about the determination, but it's more about the idea that you're going to have, which is going to make you like ridiculously determined. And there is something going to feel so vivid about that particular idea, okay. And by the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Leone, it's like a basically, you know, what you need to understand here is that somebody is going to try to kind of wind you up. Somebody is going to try to irritate you. Somebody is going to kind of like be like a little bit rude to you or whatever. But listen, it's not about this person being rude. It's not about who this person is. It's not about what this person is. It's not about this person at all. It's all about you. And it's all about the way you are going to respond to this. So you can expect somebody being a little bit rude to you at around the 18th and 19th of March. And I know it's like, oh, why is he telling me someone is going to be rude in my reading? Well, because this is what I see, but it's important. So somebody is going to be a little bit rude to you in between the 18th and the 19th of March. And then what you need to do is, this is so important for you to remember, don't be rude back, don't argue back, you're better than that. Just rise above it. This is so important. Listen to me. You can only rise above it by being as pleasant back as possible. Okay, be like a little madam. Be like as pleasant, you know, as possible. And that in itself is going to help you to elevate. And there is something very specific that you are going to understand. There is something very, very specific that you are going to understand not that long after that moment in time. This is bringing you power to actually, you will see. So when someone is rude to you, instead of being rude back, you just be nice. And this is going to help you to elevate. And as soon as that's finished, very shortly after that moment in time, you are going to have this powerful intuitive and psychic message. And this powerful intuitive and psychic message that you're going to have, it's going to be the direct reward, a karmic reward, because you responded in this particular way. Why is important? Why it's so important to respond in this particular way? It's more about your spiritual journey, the way you're going to respond. And also at the same time, you know, there is something very much so terrible going on in this person's life. That person who's going to be rude to you, they are going through something mind-blowing, something difficult, something ridiculously difficult, very dark and very negative and very sad that they're not saying to anyone. So this is why you like putting salt on the actual wound, you know, when someone is rude to you, because sometimes people are rude and you know, it's not necessary, it's nothing personal, but we don't know what's going on necessarily in these people's lives, you know. And this is why it's important to elevate yourself from this, because that person who's going to be really rude to you, they've heard some kind of horrible message about themselves, something really mind-blowingly self-destructive. They did something self-destructive, and this horrible message that they're going to become aware of, it's going to make them like really angry with themselves, and they're going to take it out on other people. And this is why it's important for you to elevate, because we are talking about someone who is extremely sensitive at this moment in their life. So as a karmic reward, like not that long after that moment in time, you will not know this, but this is going to provide you with the magical power, with the magical ability to actually see and understand why did you actually have a lack of vision for a while. And especially when it comes to like maybe completing certain tasks, you know, you had a lack of vision, and you were disappointed like way too early with things that you would start doing. Instead of giving it a little bit more, give it a little bit longer. So it kind of, your longevity when it comes to your own power was kind of affected. So you will be able to realize this, and now that in itself, it's like really going to give you an interesting idea also when it comes to your future. A very interesting idea. So that lack of a vision that you had, it's going to shift. Okay? So this is the direct karmic result from this situation. This lack of vision thing, it's about to shift. And the direct result of that is going to be this idea about your future that you're going to have. You're going to like this so much, because that idea about your future that you're going to have, it's also going to make you feel really optimistic. And it's going to make you feel really enthusiastic. And it's almost going to feel like, oh my God, almost like a brand new adventure. Almost like, oh my God, this is bringing like a brand new adventure into my life, because you will know that you're gonna, after this moment in time, you're gonna tap into something for the first time in your entire life. And this happened, and this came completely unplanned. So you really need to pay attention to your psychic and intuitive messages and the little ideas that you are going to have. And also at around the end of the week, my gorgeous Leone, there is a very important conversation that you're going to have with someone. It's like, oh my God, people are going to be playing like a major role in your life this week, baby. You know, but seriously, like at around the end of the week, somebody like directly connected to you, like a partner, husband, wife, sister, mother, brother, yeah, baby, with somebody very connected to you in your life. You are going to have a very important conversation about certain things. And if first of all, a conversation is going to start about roses and, I don't know, daisies or something. And then the conversation is going to end up being like really kind of deep and very mysterious, and there are mysterious things that you're going to be talking about. But most importantly, through that conversation, you're going to understand something about yourself. You're going to understand something about your skills. Something is going to be highlighted about yourself and about your skills, and at the same time, that in itself, it's really going to be brilliant moment in time, because it's going to make you aware of the specific information that you didn't know. And that specific information that you didn't know, it's also going to really kind of gonna kind of be like the beginning of some kind of manifestation here as well. And that particular this is gonna start with you kind of wanting to learn more about something, wanting to find out more about the specific subject. And trust me, this is going to start like you wanting to find out more about the specific subject, and then it's gonna go on to the next level where you are gonna need to be in touch with a certain people, and then at the same time it's going to bring you to the point in your life where you are really gonna realize that there is like this path that you're gonna find yourself at, that is probably going to bring the major change into your life. And that major change that you're going to have, it's gonna come with so many surprises, because you're gonna surprise yourself the way you're gonna feel. Because you're gonna realize how much you've changed. And now when we change things around us, and see where this is going to bring you, where this this is going to take you. This is going to be so interesting, and you just need to go with this particular flow, my gorgeous Leonie, indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Leonie, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous Leonie. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.